this section, I want to talk about how Google Ads works and the whole topic of what an auction actually is. Guys, the operation of Google Ads is based on auctions. What does an auction mean? It means a bidding process, but does it mean whoever pays more wins the auction? No, we shouldn't simplify it to just these two titles. Firstly, it's not just about who pays more. We might pay more but achieve fewer results. On the other hand, there is no such thing as winning, because remember guys, I mentioned that Google actually schedules your display. We discussed that you don't constantly get displayed and so on. One reason you don't constantly get displayed, guys, is that it tries to spread the budget you define at the campaign level throughout the day. So if you're supposed to get clicks, based on previous behaviors, it tries to spread them throughout the day. One of the parameters that prevents your ad from being constantly displayed is this. Again, the point is that there are no winners or losers in the auction. I am supposed to have my click volume, I get my clicks, goodbye, right? Now, the point is that these auctions happen at the moment of search. That means every part of the search has an auction happening, a bidding is taking place. What factors are involved in it? Remember kids, a search happens. A keyword is found. One, if it was supposed to be displayed, well, in this neighborhood, the search for terme and keyword happened. Now, when you're eager for something else, right in the middle, there's something that this file might do. For example, write. These are the influencing parameters on the action. Pay attention, kids. We'll get to it soon. Now, connect this in to the puzzle piece I just mentioned. Google tries to distribute your ads throughout the day for your budget. Now, when it wants to distribute your ads throughout the day, consider that the action is happening in real time. Then sometimes you encounter the situation where you say, I haven't changed anything, so why am I not visible now? For example, let's say my keywords are firing. I'm just giving an example. Assume that, well, I'm saying I've learned another element now, which is that it tries to distribute this throughout the day. An action takes place, and the results are shown in the SERP. Remember, when we looked at it together, we even refreshed it and said it changed. The action is happening in real time, guys. What is it? Write it down. What determines this is how the displayed results are compared to each other. In what position do they stand? Guys, we have something we call them that token in this game. Okay, I also have a weapon, I'm saying. Okay, we tell them adrang. Okay, the first thing I say is write this in your notebook. Write adrang is not equal to add position. Adrang is not equal to add position. Write another line below. Adrang is equal to the yellow bid in the quality score. Adrang is equal to the yellow bid in the quality score. Okay, what was the bid? The maximum cost we were willing to pay for each click. What is the quality score? I'll talk about it. You actually determine your position relative to others. It's called adrang. Underline this. What does it mean? It means if your adrang is higher than mine when I'm entering the auction at the same time, then you will have a higher position compared to me. It becomes Hashemi if this is higher. It takes a higher position compared to me. Okay? So based on this, if it determines your relative positions, let's focus on this word relative that I'm emphasizing. Remember, I told you that. The ad position, in fact, within Google itself, is not really defined in isolation. I said you can't just say, hey, this is ranked 10, this is ranked 20. I also gave you an example. If you remember, I'm reviewing it with you. We searched together, went to the second page, and I was opening it up, explaining that practically the second, third, or fourth page doesn't mean much to me. Or the first page doesn't mean much to me. Why? Because at that moment, I'm not being displayed there. So the position doesn't really matter. It used to have significance in the past, but not anymore. compared to another, you might be higher. You are positioned higher than someone else. Your ad is not always higher. But at this moment, this is what's happening. So what influenced the ad position? The first option we mentioned was ad rank. We said ad rank is a subset of what? We said ad rank is essentially the bid multiplied by the quality score, right? Kids, it's not really a multiplication, but to help you understand, we refer to it as multiplication. And in many places, you'll see it referred to as multiplication, but it's not truly multiplication because when you get to it, you'll see that this doesn't happen. And Google also hasn't explicitly mentioned it anywhere. The next topic that influences this matter is, suppose you and I are both in the auction right now, and your ad rank is equal to mine. What role do you play here? Another parameter that I want to mention is something we have called format impact. Since this format impact differs from the ad format topic, pay attention here. When I want to explain this, focus on me. Our ad format usually refers to text, banner, or other types. We differentiate this with the format, okay. Now, I have something else to tell you. I say this format impact is colloquially referred to as, well, what is it? When you remember the ad extensions, guys, the ad extensions and the format impact really play a role here. Just imagine you and I are completely equal. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and you've come completely suited and formal. Well, now, in that scenario, I mean, which one do you think Google would definitely prefer? And the one with a better format impact. So using ad extensions not only helps improve your journey and better engage your user, but overall, Google prefers it. Or it has a better ad format. Guys, let me clarify this for you. Right now, you won't see anything called ad position in your dashboard. You won't see anything called ad rank in the dashboard, nor will you see anything called format impact in the dashboard. These are definitions and meanings you should know, so that when you see something happening here, you understand the reason behind it. All right, guys, we are gradually completing the puzzle. Let me tell you again, don't look for a straight path in Google. By the end of your course, you are supposed to create a big picture. That picture is made up of puzzle pieces, and you need to arrange these pieces next to each other. Understand that where you start and where you end up is not important. What matters is that I understand that this puzzle piece should be placed next to this one. What is important is that I understand that this puzzle piece should be placed next to this one, and then realize this, kids. You are ultimately supposed to have a very neat, tidy, and strong puzzle that you can then sit back and admire. So, I don't see anything called adrang, adozi, or format impact here. I was in the field. Now I understood the action. And what makes me influence this action? We understood together, I said, sir. Even if we are equal, what should I influence? We understood, kids. Let me tell you something everywhere. Sometimes a question arises. Sir, if no one was with us, meaning they weren't with us. Let me put it this way. If no one was in the action with us at the same time. Now, if you say something here, let's assume I really wasn't there. How does this calculate? Kids, you are supposed to see your results in the end. Next to it, there's also a discussion about organic, meaning it evaluates you based on the quality of the things that are in its organic section. So, it's important to understand that it's not just you and me actually meeting another data point, but also the behavior of other users in the organic discussion. It's really difficult to act on actions where no one is present, in fact. Another point I want to mention, or rather, I have a question to ask you guys. How do you think I can find out if someone is with me in the action or not? Guys, I don't want to pursue this issue at all. But let's assume I said this sentence. This sentence usually comes from the mouths of those who say, we searched in several ways. Guys, the answer that should be given at this moment is to this. How many of these models have I searched? We are not Google, and Google is not always going to show our ads. You might search several times and not see the ad at all. Okay? You didn't see it, but people are concluding from this model that, hey, I searched and no one is in the auction. It's really interesting, and I want to tell you this. Hey, you're not Google, so if you didn't see it, it doesn't mean no one is in the auction. I searched for different reasons. Again, I'm saying it's not a criterion. There might be many others. Then, let's assume we say, oh, now what is it? I have to talk about the data. Well, together it says, well, I have to talk about the data. Together it says, we have to talk about the data together. Well, now, I can't conclude like that. Later, I'll teach you a method that has the capability to examine it, but even that is not completely precise. But let's take a look. So I didn't see the excuse. That excuse, it was a mischief that I would sit at the table with and play. My action was an auction now. Kids, we mentioned the excuse because to model the auction, we say CPC multiplied by quality score. Or better yet, there's a mistake here. Max CPC means what? It means bid multiplied by quality score. Kids CPC. From now on, when we say it, we mean cost per click. When cost per click equals actual cost, it equals actual CPC. What does that mean? It means the actual CPC that was deducted from us. Remember in those metrics that were written around the circle? I explained to you for 6 weeks that the maximum CPC or bid is different from the actual CPC, which is the average actual CPC taken from you. Are different from each other? Well, now it becomes bid in the quality score. Guys, there's something here I'm mentioning as a tip. Please write it down. It was your advantage, guys, who takes this advantage, sits at the table, performs a search, and a keyword is fired. And eventually, a number is displayed. Who holds this token? To put it better, the advantage we are building in our minds, and on the other hand, at what level our bid and quality score defined? At the keyword level. Please write this down, guys. Bid and quality score are being defined at the keyword level. Okay. So it attaches to the keyword, meaning it's the keyword that wants to show its characteristics in the auction, indicating what happens to it, so it becomes max CPC or bid. Multiplied by quality score, which becomes this advantage, guys. Now what is the quality score? The quality score is a number from 1 to 10. The value in question is a numerical figure that ranges from 1 to 10. This particular number is derived as a result of the interaction and combination of 3 distinct parameters. To elaborate further, the first parameter plays a crucial role in determining the outcome. It is essential to understand how each parameter contributes to the final result. By examining the influence of each parameter, we can gain a clearer understanding of how the number is calculated. This process involves analyzing the specific characteristics and values associated with each parameter, which ultimately leads to the final numerical result. Is expected CTR, which is the first parameter. The second parameter is the overall ad relevancy of the advertisement. And the third parameter is the landing page experience. Pay attention. So the quality score is a number from 1 to 10. Let me tell you a point, guys. At the beginning, you don't have a quality score. I'll get it. Okay. You don't have a quality score. Now, this quality is derived from the expected CTR, ad relevance, and landing page experience. It originates from these 3 factors, guys. These 3 that I mentioned can take on 3 different states. What does below average, average, above average mean? Let's talk about expected CTR together. Guys, what is expected CTR? It means the expected CTR, meaning whose expectation is it? Google is. Of course, our God is Google. Google expects that when a search happens on that keyword, you can achieve it in the desired manner. So it became expected CTR, the expected CTR of Google. Guys, remember I said that these have an impact on the discussion of SEO, and many people firmly say it doesn't. Look at what happens right here. Guys, expected CTR, which becomes CTR. In your opinion, does it depend on anything? One of the things that SEO experts often discuss and emphasize is that, yes, your CTR is important, but guys, practically your expected CTR is important. Remember, we gave an example in search together so that everyone could see exactly one case. For instance, to increase our chance of ranking, and I said that, or I attached a wrong belief to it, and said if you are ranked number 1 and a search happens, if there's a chance that an ad is displayed, it might appear above the organic result where you are displayed, and naturally it affects the CTR. Guys, expected CTR means exactly this. Assume you don't expect an ad that is mostly displayed at the top of the page for any reason. To get a 2% CTR, or conversely, you don't expect when you're placed lower on the page to get, let's say, a 50% CTR. It's not possible. Such a thing doesn't happen. So guys, it definitely depends on this matter. This expected CTR is about where on the page you are mostly seen. What was the normal CTR for others, whether they were ads or organic placements? Guys, a very important point is that you will never fully understand the expected CTR or its exact number. That's why it only says below average, average, and above average, meaning it assigns 3 states to it. Guys, these are visible in the dashboard and other tools that I'm telling you about. So when I see, for example, that my quality scores, expected CTR is below average. In fact, when I see my quality score is below 10, it gives me a hint that one of these 3 has an issue. So I go and investigate to see which one has the fundamental problem, so that I can refresh it and apply the techniques to fix it. Guys, this is where the optimization comes in, which we need to learn later. So the expected CTR can be above average, average, or below average. But the much more important point is that, guys, when your expected CTR is either average, below average, or above average, you see it compared to the fact that we don't have a certain CTR. So let's think about it right here and see what factors can affect the CTR we are getting in each position. A simple example is if your ad copy isn't strong and is weak, your CTR might decrease, or for instance, the use of extensions can help increase your CTR. Learn using call to actions can help increase your CTR. So guys, as we are doing this, pay attention that one of the pieces of our previous puzzle was that Google's data is not in real time. So keep in mind that if you are making changes and writing them, if you are making changes in the field of optimization, it actually takes time for it to settle in the data, and you won't see the results immediately. So this is a very important point. The next influential parameter is relevance, guys. What does relevance depend on? It depends on the connection between, pay attention, the connection between your keywords and your ads, guys. You have something similar to this in SEO, similar to what I'm saying. Relevance, as I mentioned, is about what you wrote in relation to the keyword you actually set. Guys, pay attention. I didn't say our headline should be exactly related to the keyword you set. Many times it turns out that our headline should be in the ad, not related to the keyword. Guys, look at the journey again. I repeat this so it sticks in your mind. A user performs a search, enters a keyword, and finally an ad is displayed. Now guys, can the expected CTR also be related to the connection between the headline and the keyword? What does that mean? It means if we haven't added the right keywords And if we haven't added the right negative keywords, an irrelevant one might come into play. So make sure the keywords and negative keywords are tidy and okay, but ad relevance is the connection between your keyword and ad. Guys, pay close attention to this. Again, let's go over it and emphasize it. Landing page experience, guys. What is landing page experience? It's the experience. The user's experience on your landing page. This also has a high impact, a very high impact. Guys, one of the very important parameters that significantly affects this matter is what? Page load speed, right? Page load speed can significantly impact this area. The discussion is about the website being responsive. On mobile, isn't it? Or like, it shouldn't become pixelated because it seems like it was only made for desktop. So, your experience is very important. How does it understand this again? It also says below average, average, above average, based on the data it has. So, from the other data it has, it combines these three and gives a score from 1 to 10. For example, let's say your landing page experience is below average and 2 are above average. If we don't want to increase it, then increase it to above average. What will your quality score be? 7. What will your quality score be? It will be 7. Okay. So, I understood that this also affects the auction. I understood which parameters can influence the auction, and I explained the definition of ad rank. I understood that ad rank, bid, and quality score are defined at the keyword level. I understood what parameters make up the quality score. I understood what things can affect its parameters so that I can achieve a good quality score. A high score for a week, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't aim for 10. Pay attention, guys. If your quality score is 7 and you make it 10, it means you've increased it by almost 50%. Guys, ad rank or that factor to be able to place in the auction, I said that the quality score is multiplied by the bid. So when I increase the quality score, I can lower the bid and thus incur less cost. It becomes more efficient. The system has the capability that I can increase the bid and lower it. Right. Because the impact can actually remain constant. So this doesn't mean that if we go to quality score once a week, we should forget about it. Guys, we are working hard to make the landing experience special for you. Okay? Guys, if the quality score is terrible or below 3, guys, the dash means no quality score has been received. Okay. Up to this point, we have been talking about. We talked about what an auction actually is and what the approval items are, etc. I want to open up the discussion about ad rank. And then in the next video, we'll move on to calculating and seeing how the actual CPC is calculated and how this calculation actually happens. The first one's quality score is 10, the next one's is 7, the next one's is 7, and the last one's is 4, the first bid. On that keyword is $3, the next one is $4, the next one is $3, and the last one is $5. Guys, look at their ad ranks, 30, 28, 21. Pay attention, I said ad rank doesn't determine the ad position directly, but it causes 1 to be placed above 2 and 2 to be placed above 3. So, when we see their ad rank is higher, I understand that they have a higher position. Or at this moment, I see them in a higher position than me. Right. So, here it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me tell you something important right here, guys. So what happens with this? It's very important, guys. Ad rank. Even if someone is not in their field, we will talk about it in the next slides. We have something called minimum ad rank, which is a bit different. Minimum ad rank is the rank that Google assigns to itself. What does that mean? It means it is assigned to its organic results. You need to have at least a certain ad rank to be eligible for. Be higher in Google's results and what happened with that. So we will talk about it, but for now, keep in mind that because ad rank can determine its position relative to others, Does this mean it will definitely be in the first position? In fact, it had the first position 1. There's no reason at all. Or its position is second, or it's on the second page, or it's at the top. It could be 1, 2, or even 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4 at the bottom. So we have determined them relative to each other.